One thing you have to be careful with is getting too detailed when you zoom in. I'm going to make him look a little bit more to the left. That's going to be better. Yep. But it's really easy when you're zoomed in to get over detailed. There's work I did, a short horror comic called The Man in Green. Very fond of that work, but one of the things that's funny to me, because it was my first time doing full digital in a while, and actually the very first comic I did using the program I'm drawing in right now, Clip Studio. And part of the problem I had with it was okay, yeah, that's right. Yep. There we go. But one of the problems I came across is there's a scene where there's a big theater opening with a balcony and an audience sitting in it. And the problem I had was I was like, oh crap, I need to draw everyone on this level. That level below I can simplify, but the fact of the matter is I didn't need to draw those characters. So I took all this time, got very detailed for something that I didn't actually need to do. And so whenever I like to go back and look at all the work I put into that and kind of laugh because it was not a good decision. Just remember, keep forgetting he has sweatbands. Why did I make that decision? Just to give him a little bit of flavor. You know what? With it in that corner, I'm going to go ahead and have a little bit visible of the suit. Just a little bit. Won't know what it means until the last panel. With the laziest car ever drawn. But yeah, it's very easy to accidentally zoom in and start over detailing something that will not need that much detail in the long run because no one will notice it. Erase, erase. That'll be perfect. But let me do one little thing because I will notice it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Getting too obsessed with tiny details. Save. Last panel. What time is it? 8:15. This should end up pretty well. Whew. But yeah, as I was saying, since I do have this panel coming up, I'll go ahead and tell you all a little bit about how my process works. A little thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm guessing in replay, it looks like the chat is in fact empty. But all good. So one of the important things about writing a mystery is to start with the pieces. And in most mysteries, those pieces are the characters. I never really understood this until there's an author named Sarah Stewart Taylor, who started with mystery. I believe she's working YA right now, but she had a tie to the Center for Cartoon Studies, and I got a chance to interview her and talk to her about how writing mysteries worked. And I talked about an exercise that I'd started putting together that was the first step towards the web of mystery that I mentioned earlier. And the exercise involved just coming up with two characters. One of them kills the other. Why? And that was the starting point. And what Sarah said to me was that I was doing it backwards. That you don't want to come up with the crime and how the crime works first. You want to come up with who the people are. Don't even figure out who dies or whatever is going to happen, because that should come organically out of the situations that you build. And she was right. She was absolutely right. Um, so I started looking for a way to create groups of characters. And that's where this web system started to come up. I actually have it, one of the ears pop out a little bit, so it's a little more obvious what it is. It looks awful. There we go. So I started creating a system where I could quickly come up with a bunch of characters and put them together into a coherent story. Or not even coherent, not even a story yet, but just come up with the relationships and time all together. And it ends up looking like kind of a web, which is why I call it the Web of Mystery. Also, it's a delightfully dramatic name, which is always kind of fun. Little booties. Hopefully that'll read tiny. That's one of the things that's going to need to be done. So the basics of it are, you come up with a location. You come up with different archetypes of people you would meet at the location. From there, you start tying them all together. The most you figure out what their relationships are. One of the rules is most of the characters have to have at least two relationships with other people, and in all likelihood, you're going to end up with more as you're putting these together. Once you do that, a few things will start to become apparent. Smile. You'll be able to pretty quickly figure out who needs to be the one to die, who's going to look like a suspect, who's going to. It'll tell you who the red herrings are. It'll tell you who the actual culprit is. It's a very quick way to put together the entire formula. And it's based on other things that I know work. Oh, and another important thing is secrets. Everybody has a secret, which helps make everyone look guilty. So I'm excited to be sharing this with people. I'd love to see more mysteries get made, and I'd love to see more benefits from it. Oop, I forgot to do the rest of the car. But I want to use the smaller. That'll work. that everything? I think I am done. That looks like the end. It's a very small fursuit, but I think it will get the point across. That will do exactly what I need it to do. All right, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me on today's journey. I will be doing the second half of this where I color it on Sunday, and looking forward to that. Although my guess is you'll be seeing this in replay, so it probably won't matter to you too much. If you would like to support my work further, the best way is through my Patreon, which is on the screen, www.patreon.com/bwhcomics. I'm also available on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at bwhcomics. So until next time, rock on, guys, and never stop drawing.